Hey, all you Golden Eagles, you're listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. I'm your Tuesday, Thursday show host, Skylar Angus Barker. We've got a great show coming up with some information about Lois Lynch, talking about the time she and her husband opened a pharmacy, and Dondria Burris with your community calendar. And don't touch that dial because Asia Gutierrez will share some things that you don't want to miss. You're listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online. Research shows that audiences feel positively about businesses that underwrite programming on their community radio station. Research also shows that the audiences are likely to patronize businesses that support community radio programming. The audience also believes that businesses that support community radio care about their community. If you want to build this type of relationship with WUSM's audience, call us at 601-266-4287 to ask about sponsoring programming. It's more than just exposure, it's building a community relationship.
Today on Southern Miss Radio and USM Campus News. USM Theater presents Dr. Faustus opening on October 26th. Mark those calendars because Thursday, October 26th at 7:30 p.m., you're in for a treat. Dr. David Coley produces this Elizabethan cautionary tale about a brilliant scholar whose desire for knowledge and understanding leads him to a confrontation and deal with the devil. Dr. Coley goes on to say, "This is one of those plays that has something for everyone. It has the tragedy that people might expect, but it's also frequently hilarious. It has intensely powerful personal moments, but also grand spectacle. I think this is a show that will surprise most everyone who sees it." Petron Brown goes on to star as the title character for this performance. "I'm sure you're interested, so tickets for general admission go for $18, $15 for seniors, military, faculty, and staff, and $8 for our students. So don't miss out on this opportunity, Golden Eagles." In Hattiesburg news, the Hattiesburg Zoo's Zoo Boo to run all week. Calling all ghosts, goblins, and ghouls. The Hattiesburg Zoo's annual Zoo Boo has begun Saturday night and is going on through this week. The Zoo Boo saw the graveyard come alive with people of all ages dressed in their best costumes. Stop on by from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. and enjoy spooky decorations, food, drinks, and a dance floor. So go show off your best monster mashes and take home the night. In Mississippi news, no one injured in shooting near Mississippi home of U.S. Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith. It was announced Monday that federal and state law enforcement were investigating a shooting near the home of U.S. Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith. No one was injured in the shooting, which initially occurred Sunday, and investigators have not revealed whether the home was targeted by the shooter. In fact, they have yet to reveal a potential suspect or the weapon used. Hyde-Smith's office presented this quote in a statement on Monday. "The senator and her family were not harmed. Senator Hyde-Smith is grateful for the concern shown by many and the good work of the federal, state, and local law enforcement." In national news, 7 dead in crashes involving 150 vehicles on Louisiana Interstate. On Monday, at Louisiana Interstate, the drivers had a tragic experience due to severe fog. 7 people were killed, and more than 24 others were injured. The pileup of cars within the crash has currently been calculated to be at least 158 vehicles. When looking over the image taken from the event, there is a tanker truck carrying hazardous liquid, with the surrounding cars looking unrecognizable and additional cars being covered and restricted by other vehicles. Because of this tanker truck is suspected that the first responders will uncover additional fatalities. There were several fires across the interstate, and with the addition to the severe fog, resulted in these casualties. Our hearts and prayers go out to the victims. We'll be right back with sports and weather after a word from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online. Sponsorship comes from American Graphics. Located at 8 Commercial Warehouse Drive in Hattiesburg, American Graphics provides custom screen printing and embroidery. They can be reached by phone at 601-602-2277, and the website is goamericangraphics.com. American Graphics, printing at its finest.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Now on for your sports. Men's basketball to clash with Delta State in tonight's exhibition. The 2023-2024 men's basketball team is facing Delta State in an exhibition game. This match is scheduled for 7 p.m. at the Reed Green Coliseum, and admission is free. You heard me right. Admission is free. Please keep in mind that this game will not be streamed. However, you can listen in on Southern Miss Radio Network, the Southern Miss Game Day app, or your local Southern Miss network. Soccer Senior Day marks a 2-2 tie. On Southern Miss soccer team ended the home season with an incredible match against ULM, resulting in a draw. This has been the second time a tie has been administered during the season for the Golden Eagles. To keep up with all the Golden Eagle sports activities, head on over to southernmiss.com. Now on for your weather. It's looking like today's moving on by with the highs in the mid-80s and the lows in the low 60s. And it's not looking like we'll encounter any rain anytime soon. And we've got our humidity at 65%. So it's not exactly the best conditions, but we'll be moving right along through it. Up next, we have Lois Lynch talking about the time that she and her husband opened a pharmacy and built trust in the community. Check it out.
This is Mississippi Moments, produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage at the University of Southern Mississippi, and supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. I'm Bill Ellison. After graduating pharmacy school, Louise Lynch and her husband purchased a drugstore in Waveland. She recalls that it took a while to gain the trust of some of their customers.
I married my husband, and he was a pharmacist also. And my uncle had this drugstore in Waveland, and he sold the drugstore to my husband. Well, it wasn't my husband then because I was still in school. And so it wasn't until after the war that we married, and then we both stayed in the drugstore. When I first started to fill a prescription, I remember it was this man came in, he had a prescription, and I said, I'll fill it. And he says, you can't fill my prescription. And I said, why not? He said, because you're not a pharmacist. I said, I am. Look, you can see it right here. I am. He says, well, I've known you since you were knee-high to a grasshopper, and I know you cannot go fill my prescription. So my husband had to fill the prescription, but I went in the back and filled it anyway, and he didn't know it. But later on, he accepted after Harry died, he let me fill his prescriptions.
To hear more, visit MississippiMoments.org or just like us on Facebook. Mississippi Moments is supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. The humanities are for everyone.
That was Lois Lynch talking about the time that she and her husband opened a pharmacy. Coming up, we've got a special guest that you don't want to miss.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Look through your children's eyes to see the true magic of a forest. It's a storybook world for them. You look and see a tree. They see the wrinkled face of a wizard with arms outstretched to the sky. They see treasure in pebbles. They see a windy path that could lead to adventure. And they see you, their fearless guide through this fascinating world.
Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Now, please give a warm Golden Eagle welcome to Asia Gutierrez. Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on. So, just really quickly, for anyone that doesn't know you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I am the walked in Alzheimer's manager for the Alzheimer's Association's Mississippi chapter. We are a national organization, but each state pretty much has their own chapter.
Right.
And here in Mississippi, our office is based out of Ridgeland, right outside of Jackson.
Okay, that's pretty exciting. And we do know that you are the manager for this event, but you did mention the Alzheimer's Association. And what exactly is that?
Sure. So the Alzheimer's Association is the leading voluntary health organization in Alzheimer's care, support, and research. And we are also the world's largest nonprofit funder of Alzheimer's research. Currently, we've invested over $320 million into medical research.
Right.
And we've got over 1,000 projects we've invested in 54 different countries. So
Wow.
really promising research, really wonderful things that are happening there.
That's absolutely amazing. And I can't even fathom, one, the amount of money and also the amount of time and effort that you all have to contribute into something that's as impactful and powerful as this. So I'm sure a lot of our Golden Eagle listeners are very thankful for the work that you do. So thank you for providing us this. And as I mentioned before, but I got a little tongue-tied, but I understand that you're the manager for this upcoming event, the Walk to End Alzheimer's. What's it like being the manager for something this grandiose, but also something so intimate?
It is a lot of different hats you have to wear.
Right.
So it is always entertaining, that is for sure. But for me, my family's gone through this personally.
Yeah.
That is why I did this. I actually worked in marketing and video for a really long time, and then I lost my grandmother in 2017.
Right.
Really rerouted my career from there, and I am now a licensed social worker. And
Wow.
through all of my studying with that, I realized how much geriatrics needs people that are going to be focused on this issue. And I was lucky enough to get to intern with the Alzheimer's Association, and I knew day number one, I was like, well, these are my people. This is where I'm
Right.
supposed to be. And I have loved every second of it.
That's an absolutely beautiful connection. And I know that you've heard many people say that I'm so sorry for your loss. But it's such a gift and it's such a blessing for what you're able to contribute. And I know that hearing that, I was starting to get choked up, but genuinely thank you.
Oh, of course. I know so many families are going through this, and I feel like most of us that work actually at the Alzheimer's Association,
Right.
it is because of a personal experience. We got connected with them, and when you see it up close, how much this organization cares, how much they dedicate their time and energy and resources to make sure they're being great stewards with what's given to us and to really make a difference in communities, it's an easy yes to do this work.
100%, 100%. And I'm sure that people listening now are hearing what we were able to talk about and hearing what you've presented, and just like your coworkers and the people that work alongside with you, of being able to provide this. And I'm sure that many are interested. So with this main event, the Walk to End Alzheimer's, what can we expect from that?
Sure. So like I said, the main thing that we are trying to do with these events is to get more money for medical research.
Right.
But along with the research, we also do a lot of care and support throughout the state of Mississippi. And all of that we try to make sure is free of cost for anybody who needs those services.
Yeah.
This is one of those diseases that is incredibly costly. The average right now is $4,300 per month for assisted living care. And for any of us who've gone through that, that's honestly on the low end. It is really, really expensive. And that's not even including the medical treatments that you have to get throughout this whole process. So what we do at these events is we try to make sure all of our free resources are accessible and available at the event. And so they're completely free of charge to participate and register. And so along with it being a fundraiser, it's also a place for the community to come together and get all those resources they need, get connected with our programs department. We also do free education and programs all throughout the state. All you have to do is just give us a call and we can schedule those for you. They can be in businesses, churches, or even family events. And so we try to make sure that this is an event that's also a celebration as well.
Right.
This is a really exciting year. We have 2 medication treatments that are, for the first time in history, actually dealing with the underlying causes, which is it's huge. I'm clearly getting excited about this, but this
of
is really
course.
cool stuff. As I lost one grandmother to this, and I have another one suffering from it now.
Right.
To know that there's actually something that she could take that will slow the progression versus before we kind of just got given medications that would slow it down on some of the, not the actual disease, but some of those big symptoms that she was showing. So this is huge, and we want to really celebrate that and help people to see these events, what we're doing with the fundraising is actually working, which you don't hear a lot of times, and it's pretty incredible.
That's, I can't even fathom the fact that something that originally that people would be able to look at this event and be able to look over and have this moment of community, and now having this celebration of looking over, going like, it's working. What we're doing is working. We're not just crying out into the streets and being able to laugh with each other and connect with each other. This isn't just something that's for us. This is going to change. And I'm trying not to cry now because that's absolutely amazing. And I cannot believe that that's happening, and the amount of pride and the amount of heart that everyone is attending these events before, and anyone that's suffering with this, being able to look over and go, there's hope. And that's amazing. Whew.
Right there with you.
Absolutely. And I think we were talking about Alzheimer's, or we were talking especially with your connection about this loss and how many people regarding this foundation have encountered or had to encounter these losses. And I'm sure a lot of people know about Alzheimer's, but they don't know about how drastic and how difficult it is. So can you tell us about what Alzheimer's is?
Absolutely. So Alzheimer's is a progressive degenerative brain disease.
Right.
And as much as this is a common thing that almost every family in America has had some kind of impact with, people don't talk about it like this, but it is a fatal terminal illness.
Yeah.
And it will kill someone at the end of it. And so there's a lot of misconceptions about what this actually looks like. A little bit of cognitive decline as we age is normal for everybody.
Yeah.
But when it becomes something that impacts somebody's personal ability to live and function,
Yeah.
it is something that you can't really just keep on going with life through. And so it is really sad to watch these families and individuals.
Yeah.
You lose a person a little bit at a time. And I'm sure a lot of our listeners know this too. It is all over the radar with how this impacts somebody. Some people get a diagnosis and then pass very quickly. Some people will have this for 20 years. And so it is really shocking to watch how much change a family has to go through, how much they'll have to alter their whole lives to be able to take care of someone that they love.
Yeah.
And so for us, one of the things that we're really excited about with these new medications, they are accessible to have during early stages of this only right now. And so one of the things we're really trying to work on is making sure people know what those early signs look like.
Yeah.
And so our website has a ton of information on that if that's what anyone would like to look up. It is the 10
Absolutely.
warning signs. And I would recommend it to everyone to look those up and see what that looks like.
Absolutely, because it's something that once it comes, you can be able to see the slow deterioration and this slow moment of recognizing it. But when it comes, it's silent at first, and it's something that a lot of people will bounce around their head of what's going on. Is this going to be temporary? Is this going to be permanent? And with your time, a part of this organization, I'm sure that you've encountered so many people during all of it. What point were you able to look over and witness these events that this foundation provided, and you looked over and you went, I know that helped that person, and I know that that's something that they needed?
You know, there are so many of those moments, and that's what makes this work so rewarding.
Yeah.
The statistic right now is that people in their 40s, half of them are living as in that sandwich generation where they're
Right.
taking care of children and aging parents. And watching these families and our support group come together and be like, I don't know how to hold this together. I
Right.
am trying to be a great parent. I'm trying to be a great daughter or a great son.
Right.
And I'm also trying to work a full-time job and do all these things that I'm
Right.
supposed to be accomplishing in my life. And I can't make those puzzle pieces all fit. The math just doesn't add up, and I
Right.
can't do it. And getting to be in our support groups and showing them what resources are available.
Yeah.
Because sadly, when we get a diagnosis, that's not part of the doctor's job, and we don't usually get connected to a social worker or anything like that.
Right.
So we just kind of get this diagnosis and get sent out the door. And so that's one thing I wish everybody knew, and I wish my family would have known sooner. There are a lot of resources out there to get the help that you need to
Yeah.
take some of that load off.
That's wow. I know that this is something that I'm sure that our listeners would already know would be like a heavy topic about Alzheimer's, but putting it all into perspective and allowing yourself to sink in, whether or not you know someone that is suffering from it, whether or not you are a descendant from someone suffering it, or you're someone that's there watching it happen, it's something that not many people are able to understand and justify and reason with themselves. And there's just constant battering back and forth of those questions. And the fact that you've done all this work and you've provided yourself as a social worker, and these other people that are working alongside of you are fighting to allow people to look over and go, I know it hurts. I know it sucks. And I know it's something that you're never going to understand, but it's something that you can talk about. It doesn't have to be something that you have to sit there and watch it happen. And I know that many people, whether it comes from Alzheimer's or it comes from other debilitating disorders, it's something that crushes you. And being able to create a community of people that I was able to look at the website and see smiling faces with this radiance of beauty and this radiance of something where it's a genuine home. And being able to provide that, I can't imagine what it's like in your shoes to be able to do that, and for everyone else to look over at the end of the day and go back to their homes or go back to their apartments or go back to wherever they go and look up to their ceiling or look at their TV or look at what they're doing and go, something worked. And trying not to cry, and it's absolutely beautiful. So
It really is. Our volunteers are absolutely incredible, and that is the way that we work. Like I said, there are very few of us who work for this whole state. We are spread thin, but our volunteers are truly incredible people. We have in the Hattiesburg area some people that I've gotten to meet who are helping out with this event are lifelong friends now, and I have been so grateful just to see the way that they have taken this and really run with it to make sure that people are getting this information that's available to them.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. And I know that this event is something that's huge, and for any of our listeners right now that were able to hear us talk to each other about it, I'm sure someone is going over there going like, I gotta go. So what can we expect? But better question for you, what are you most looking forward to from the event?
I love the part where everything comes together. You can see people come into the event and you will watch this huge array of emotions. For some people, they've lost someone recently, and you can see that the difficulty that's on their face when they walk in, but then you look around and you see that place of going, oh my gosh, I'm not alone.
Right.
This is a whole crowd of people who understand. And as somebody who's gone through this and had to help with caregiving for my grandmother, it is very isolating. It is incredibly isolating. There's not many places you can go towards the end, especially where you can take this person with you. And so watching the people get to go out and see that other people care, seeing that they have all of this hype around something that they are like, oh, I thought I was alone here. And I have all these other people who are excited for me to be here, for my family to like get to express what we've been going through. It really is such a special thing. So our event this week is on USM's campus, which we are so thrilled about.
Wow.
But it is on Saturday, the 28th. We start our registration at 9 a.m. The actual walk opening ceremony will start at 9:45, and the walk will kick off at 10. They're usually pretty quick events, so you can expect to be done by 12 that day.
Okay. It's already convenient for the students and it's convenient for the people of Hattiesburg, and it's such a beautiful moment, as I know that I've repeated 20 billion times. But I know that some people, whenever they hear the term like walk with yada or walk with a disorder or something to celebrate about, some people are looking over going like, I don't want to walk. I'm tired. It's been a long day. So if any of our listeners are interested, but they're not sure if they want to take that walk itself, what can they do to help out?
So you are not required to walk. I will say that a lot of our team chooses to pull out the lawn chair and hang in the center while everybody else is doing the walk. You do not have to do any physical activity. But just so everybody knows too, it is wheelchair accessible and stroller friendly as well. So anybody in any part of the family can join a part of this. And then if you are not able to actually attend the event though, like I said, funding is the biggest issue that we have to work through. We have got to get more money towards this. We are seeing so much progress with the 2 new medications we have available, but we need that to keep on going. We also have a lobbying arm of our organization called AIM. That is one of those things people don't realize we do, that it's a huge thing that we need help with as well. So if you're interested in being working with our lobbying, we would love to help there. There are tons of policies that we have that we really need to see some rerouting with and a little bit more consciousness around. And we also love to work, like I said, with our education programs. For anybody that would like to have one of those, this is how we get that information out, is through you. And it's so helpful for us to get to go into communities and get to speak about all of this. Because when one person knows, then they get to pass that on. And that just keeps on going to where this is not such a taboo, scary thing to talk about anymore. And it really helps break down what is available to people when you know your neighbor did it. And
Absolutely.
so that makes a huge difference.
Right. There's so many great opportunities that people can provide, whether or not they're doing the walk or they're just relaxing and being able to take everything in. But it's something that, like, being able to see this community and see these people and just being able to just get out a lawn chair and just sit and watch everything and take it all in. I don't see why people wouldn't go, but I do know that we're running a little bit out of time. And I do want to ask one final question to you. If you could say one final thing to anyone listening that you would want them to take with them, what would you say?
Let's try to say this without crying, but I would like them to know that they're not alone. I would love everybody to understand that this is something, yes, that's no family should have to go through.
Yeah.
Nobody should have to see someone that they love fall away a little bit at a time. And there is hope out there, and there is a way that we can make a difference, but it's going to have to be together.
Yeah.
There's no way we can make this change if it's not everyone working together to understand that this is an issue that impacts all of us.
Yeah.
This is something, sadly, so many families are going through without knowing where to turn. So please always know we are social workers. We want to be there for you and your family. My number that's posted on there, please call me, text me anytime. My email address is out there as well. Yeah. Come to the walk, meet our team. You will have a lifelong friend that will be there for you, and you will make sure you are taken care of.
Thank you so much, Asia Gutierrez, for coming on today and providing a voice for our Eagles. If you're interested at all, and I'm sure that you are, please stop by the Walk to End Alzheimer's event on October 28th. You can register for the event as well as gain any additional details by searching Walk to End Alzheimer's Mississippi chapter in your browser. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Coming up, we've got Dondria Burris with your community calendar. Check it out.
How's it going, my loves? My name is Dondria Burris, and I'm here with the Community Calendar, where we gather information from around campus and within the community near you in Hattiesburg. Southern Miss Campus Recreation and the Residence Hall Association will be hosting House of Pain on Thursday, October 26th from 7 to 10 p.m. at the Pain Center. If you're into all things spooky and Halloween, this event is just for you. Just be sure to bring your student IDs. Do haunted houses scare you? Well, USM SMAC invites you to a Fright Fest on Friday, October 27th from 7 to 9 p.m. at Spirit Park. Student ID is required for entry. Come out if you dare. Who is Aunt Jones and Big Picture Marketing presents the DJ Made Me Do It R&B and Southern Style on Saturday, October 28th at Pat's Bar and Grill on 5619 Highway 42, Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Whip out your hottest costumes and come out to enjoy for a good time. On October 27th, 28th, and 31st, North Forest Volunteer Fire Department presents Haunted Forest at 2315 Glensdale Avenue, Hattiesburg, Mississippi. It will be their 33rd year of screams through a dark, winding trail deep into the woods where terror is sure to find you. Can you make it all the way through? If you have an event you would like for us to promote, send it to sm2news@usm.edu. Be sure to check out Southern Miss Today, Monday through Thursday at noon on WUSM 88.5. Also, pick up the latest edition of the Student Prints around campus, and be sure to keep tuning in to SMTV. Visit our website at sm2media.com to keep up with all of our news. I am Dondria Burris, and this has been your Community Calendar.
Thank you, Dondria, and thank you for listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Huge thanks to our audio engineer, Matthew Lee, and Alina Pitletsky, our video producer, for keeping this bird flying. Big shout out to our assistant producer, Huey Turlich, as well as our executive producer, Ms. Whitney Howard, our program director, Shania Williams, and our GM, Dr. Wilbur Martin. I'm your Tuesday, Thursday show host, Skylar Angus Barker. Stay golden, Eagles.